Hey, real estate friends and fans, Jeremy Larkin here with your weekly real estate deep dive. We're going to be fast today as we run through a ton of information. It's 212. It's actually not 212. I'm recording it on and I'm going to edit this. 214. We started this 212 and got distracted with selling real estate. 214, 2024. Happy Valentine's Day all over the planet, whoever sees this and the next time you see it. Minority homeownership rates and building household wealth. That's the title that we had on this. I actually thought it was a terrible title. And I'm actually going to show you why you need to own real estate. Today, we're going to show you why you need to own real estate and why it's such a problem actually for a lot of the minority groups that don't own real estate. It is owning real estate, friends, is the single greatest predictor of household wealth in the United States. Period, done, end of story. Winston Churchill famously said, "The price of greatness is responsibility." And in my business, I often chat with our agents here at the Larkin Group, our salespeople, they think, oh, I just sell real estate. No, we're actually responsible for helping families like yours navigate and build wealth in real estate. It's a big responsibility. It's way more than showing homes and liking architecture and sharing cool things on Instagram about beautiful homes. It's much more than that. Dramatic US wealth gaps remain, guys. When you look at the wealth gap, of course, across, and this is the median wealth of major racial groups. This is very fascinating. This is from the federal government. This is not a lobbying group, right? Asian families, whites, Hispanics, blacks, major disparity remains, right? And interestingly, you have probably a very small percentage of Asian families, right, in the United States, but as a group, very, very high median wealth, very low median wealth with African Americans, and whites, falling somewhere in the middle, right? But Hispanic families, really low median wealth. Well, this is a problem for these families, right? In 2019 to 2022, it was the largest three-year increase listen, guys, ever in the wealth of those who own single family residences, okay? For families that own their primary residence, housing wealth increased substantially, guys, like 44% between 2019 and 2022. Homeowner net worth is almost 40 times greater for homeowners as it is for renters, guys. $10,400 for the typical renter in the United States of America, almost $400,000 in housing, right? Those who own a home. Well, it's just because they have equity in their home. Well, we're going to get to that. The gap in net worth continues to widen. In 2010, the gap was $181,600 between renters and homeowners. By the end of 2022, the gap reached $385,000, the gap between renter and homeowner wealth. Well, why? Well, let's talk about it, okay? If you look at homeowner and renter net worth by income category, under $31,000, this is poverty. $31,000 to $55,000 median household income, $55,000 to $90,000 household income. That kind of 75 to 80 is probably really normal in a lot of households. 90 to 150,000, you see a big gap. In the $151,000 to $249,000 household income category, look at the net worth difference. Okay, here's why. Everyone who owns a home that earns 150 to 250 a year doesn't own a $3 million home. Like, I have to let you know, that's not real. The reality is homeownership for most folks is a forced savings account, which we're going to talk about momentarily on another slide. But it then puts people in the frame of mind of thinking in wealth terms. It takes you out of being transactional. Renting is transactional. I need a place to live. I'll just pay this landlord. We'll bail out and move when we need to. Max 1-year lease. We're flexible, right? It's not a wealth mindset. A wealth mindset is I'm going to plant myself. I'm going to purchase this home for myself. I'm going to qualify for a loan. I'm going to take all the tax advantages and benefits. I'm going to take care of all the maintenance of the home versus my landlord. It's a wealth mindset, okay? At annual income levels that are greater than $250,000, the net worth disparity greatly exists. Now, here's my point. Renters earning over $250,000 actually have high net worths. Why do you think? Because people earning over $250,000 typically have really good savings and retirement programs. See, Earning more income definitely puts you also in a frame of mind of going, well, I earn a lot of money, so now I have to manage it because I'm starting to pay too much in taxes and everybody wants a piece of it. Homeowners build wealth, guys, across all incomes, right? And we talked about this. This is the difference in all these categories. I don't know about you, but I want to be in the green category in terms of my net worth versus this gray category. Housing price of the housing piece of net worth is crucial. And look at this. Let's take your $55,000 to $90,000 household income, families, households. They have their total net worth, guys. This to me is kind of interesting. 112,000 of it is typically in other investments, stocks, mutual funds, IRA, savings. Okay, 153,000 of it is in a primary residence, right? So come over here to your wealthy households. These are high income households over $250,000. $568,000 in other investments. But here's what's interesting. Only 300,000 in the house. See, it's not all about the house. The house is a catalyst. Owning a home is a catalyst mentally to building wealth, period. And this proves it. All right, let's keep going. Overall, homeownership provides wealth building by acting as a forced savings mechanism. In addition, owning a home promotes intergenerational homeownership and wealth building. Children of homeowners transition to homeownership themselves typically earlier. Well, what about homeownership rates? Well, when we start to look at minorities and different families, okay, so in the United States, the homeownership rate as a whole is 65.7. 65.7% of Americans own a home. Almost 74% of whites own a home. 63% of Asians, Native Americans, and Pacific Islanders lumped together own a home. All of the races average is 58%. Hispanics are at a 50% homeownership rate, and Black families are a rate of 46%. You know, that's actually not terrible, but it doesn't match these groups. Like, I mean, that's still almost half, right? So we want to be able to help everybody get into a home that can afford it, that can manage it. Home equity is a key to building wealth because it provides a property owner with a way to tap the value of their home, such as a home equity line of credit, so you can do the following. Start a business. There is a direct relationship between the increase in tappable home equity, green, and the number of small business applications nationally. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? The more equity people have in their home, the more applications they get at the Small Business Administration to start businesses. Okay. All right, let's keep going. How about your older folks, as they say, seniors, right? In the 65 plus age category, homeownership the homeowner net worth is 50 times greater renters. Why? Because they've owned homes longer. You know, Warren Buffett often says he's not the best investor. He simply started before everybody else. He's said it all over the place. He's been interviewed. It's been in books. He's like, I'm really not the best. I started and I never stopped. Okay. When was the best time to plant a tree? 30 years ago. When's the next best time? As soon as you can put one on the ground. What about older owners and renter net worth by race? This is kind of interesting. You're 65 plus. Your white homeowners versus renters over 65 have a significantly higher median net worth, significantly higher. But in all groups, homeowners have, in all groups over 65, in all races, they have a nice, isn't this interesting? They have a really nice net worth if they own a home. If they don't, they have no net worth. Obstacles to homeownership. Well, what are the obstacles for minority buyers? They asked minority buyers, prospective buyers, why are you not jumping into the market? And here's what they said. Waiting for home prices to drop, right? This is interesting. This is probably cultural, right? I'm just guessing. You know, maybe the Asian families are a little more careful, a little more thoughtful. Whites, the classic, like we love to joke around about just Americans as a core, like we're really impulsive. You know what I mean? There was a show called Baywatch that people watched all over the world, right? Aren't we an impulsive, consumeristic society? I think we are, okay? 27% of Asians said they were waiting for prices to drop. Only 15% of whites did. Unable to save for a down payment. Well, whites didn't even report that that was an issue for them, even though I know many buyers who cannot save for a down payment. But as many as 9% of the Black community said, possible buyers said they couldn't save a down payment. So guys, as we wrap up, I'm going to go back here. Okay. Last thing I'm going to share. You want to own real estate. It is the single greatest predictor of household wealth in the United States. Patently, flatly, there's nothing you can argue about. It's true, right? We need to help people own homes that can afford owning a home. Next week, Monday, 2/26, well, not next week, on the 26th, we're going to talk about debunking two myths, the 20% down payment myth that you need 20%, and that you need a 780 FICO score to get a loan. Both not true. Guys, most real estate agents know what's happening. Good agents understand what's happening. Great agents, I hope the Larkin Group falls in that category, can explain what's happening, right? And help you put it into actual practice versus here's a data point. Let's take the data point and help you apply it to your life. We'd love to visit with you, make you the smartest kid on your block. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or social media, we'd be honored if you pick up the phone or just scan this QR code and fill out the contact form and say, Jeremy, we'd love you and your team to help us. We have some real estate questions. We're not sure whether we should buy, sell, invest. We're going to help you make decisions one way or the other. We're okay with all of the outcomes. Visit us there. Jeremy Larkin with the Larkin Group, Keller Williams Realty, saying thanks, guys. Over now.